So we finally completed the new EAS, so this is our very simple guide on how to install it. So we'll have a new file included. Also the old upgrade bundle file will have the EAS removed. So first of all, this is a full new installation, so your old install you're going to have to delete it. So you can go ahead and either drag it into Roblox like so, or if that doesn't work, you can right click on workspace and insert file, and then insert your EAS. Immediately you want to ungroup it, and we're just going to go over the bits of this system. So first of all, we're going to start with the product here. This is our box standard Cocoa Pops. We include it in the starter bundle as well. Simply, if you want anything to activate these barriers, there needs to be a value called EAS_active inside of the handle of the tool. This value here will get deactivated either by DRS self-checkouts, JSM V2 checkouts, or by these deactivation fields here. If you're a user of a JSM V2 checkout and you'd like to use our anti-theft system, you're going to have to put these barriers all on every single JSM scanner, because at the moment their products doesn't support automatic deactivation after you pay. We also added an activation field in case you guys wanted to use this for anything. Both of these are open source, as there's not really like a lot to them, so it just goes and shows how that works. I'm going to delete these because we're not going to be using them, but they're there for if you need to use them for your development purposes. Next we have the EAS activator and deactivator. So you'd put this at maybe your front entrance, so let's say someone gets caught shoplifting for example, but maybe the tag hasn't deactivated. You can use this to deactivate and activate tags. Inside of here we have our bog standard DRS whitelist script, so you're able to change what players can access it and what group ranks, and you also have access to the function as well. So if you use any custom functions, or if you even use Unity ranking cache, you can easily integrate it into our script here. Next up, we've got the actual barriers themselves, which have changed a lot. As you can see here, the naming of everything has changed, and we're going to get into that. So inside of every sensor, it's going to have a sensor cooldown, a zone, and a zone order. So the sensor cooldown is, I would recommend leaving this and not touching this because it won't make much difference. But basically, whenever someone passes through and they have an item that's got a tag in it, it will then freeze the script for 1 second, so it doesn't spam. So it just simply allows the system to not get spammed full of requests, so someone can't walk in and out the barrier 50 times and spam your speaker. You've also got zone, which is in this zone here, and you can change this from a number to a word. So if you wanted it to be main entrance or the toilets, you could. And they also have zone order. So on our monitor installation, which we'll get to, there's going to be zones in order, so going from 1 to 10 for example, and this is how you order them. So 0 means it will be the first zone, and then you can change this number as high as you want, because the way this works is a bit different. So you can leave zone order alone if you don't care what order your zones appear on this monitor installation here, but if you want them to be in a specific order, then you would start from 0 and go 0, 1, 2, 3, and we'll do that now actually. So I'm going to move this activation tag out of the way, and we're going to make a brand new zone. So I'm going to duplicate all of this, and we're going to bring it over here. So we've got zone 1 here, and we're now going to make zone 2, and we're going to do that by opening up our sensor part and just changing zone from 1 to 2. You could also call it entrance as well, but I'm just going to use zone 2 as it's a little easier. We're going to leave sensor cooldown alone, and we're going to change zone order to 1, because I want this zone to appear on this screen first, and then I want this one to appear below it. The next bit we need to do is we need to change the zone inside of the barriers as well. So we're going to change this barrier to zone 2, and we're also going to change this barrier to zone 2, just like so. And then also, one thing that I forgot to mention is that we have the speaker as well. So the speaker is where your sound will come from. It does not come from these barriers anymore, thank God for that. And it also, we'll get into the rest of that. So it's just got the same zone. So we're going to change this speaker, because we have zone 2 here, we're going to change this speaker to zone 2, like so. And if you're wondering where the sound is, you can find it inside of the light, and you can edit the sound and the volume at your own discretion. That's completely up to you. Next up, we're going to get to the monitoring station very soon. We've got the operator card. So there's a little touch point located on the monitor here, and this is how you will sign in. So instead of using an operator barcode or a pin, you simply get an operator card, which is basically like an RFID chip. So you just tap it on. So we don't have to use any weird ugly scanners. It's just a black screen, black flat screen, and you can just tap on it. So this operator card, you can put it into any like rank tool giving script. So if you have a script that gives staff tools, you can do it on that. For this demonstration, we're going to put it in starter pack, but if you put it in starter pack in your game, it means anyone can mess with your system. So put it in your tool giving scripts. But yeah, these will not work on the self checkouts, and the self checkout barcodes won't work on this. So it's a completely separate thing. And inside of the handle, we've got a DRS EAS card, which is how it knows, and there's also an ID, but this ID is not used yet. We might implement something, but at the moment we've just got ID set as that. And now, last but not least, we get into the monitoring station. So this is the monitoring station here. So already you can see that we have a zone activation cooldown. So that means is once this zone goes off, this is the amount of time the script has to wait before that zone can go off again. So basically, if I walk through this zone here with an activated item and I try and walk in and out, that zone will not activate for another 4 seconds. So that's an anti-spam feature. We found that 4 seconds is quite a good time, so you can leave it, you can adjust it, but we recommend you leave it unless you want to change it. And this is the new bit, I suppose you could call that. Inside of this screen, you can actually customize the UI. We've left it fully in here for you to customize. Obviously, if you are going to customize this UI, you're going to need to remember that everything must be named the same. Obviously, we've got the top bar here. Everything must be named the same, and also with the zone screens, everything's done, if you understand this, it's done in a template format. So the zones will automatically generate when the server starts up. So just make sure if you're going to edit any of this, you just keep everything the same name, because that's the way you brick it. And when you're done editing it, make everything not visible, and then you're done. So you can fully customize the UI to your liking, just providing you keep the names the same. And then the last bit we've got the external API, which is a new thing we've added. You can snoop around in the network, but we don't really recommend it because the whole point of the monitoring station is that everything goes through it. But this is the new EAS API. There's not really a lot to it. You can simply just see if someone's activated a zone or if a member of staff has updated the EAS. So if someone was to mute the speaker, it would come through here. You can link this up to a Discord webhook if you want. You can link it up to anything. We've also, with this, we've also added the new API to DRS for Kovo as well. We'll get the new file published very soon. But you can see there you go. There is the new integration for that as well. So no need to worry about that. I know someone asked me about integrating a webhook into this. You can do that. But obviously, let me get that serial box. Hold on. I kind of want one of these serial boxes just to demonstrate that this works. There we go. Where's my spawn location? There it is. Yeah, so we'll just do a quick play test. Obviously, this works in Studio with the rest of our stuff, which I like. Oh, honestly, I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. You see, monitoring station pops on. We can log in with our operator card. Tap it on that. And then we can see our zones here. You can see that zone 1 is on top and zone 2 is on the bottom because we did the correct order. And now you can see how I walk through one of these barriers. It sets off. But you can see, I know it's a bit loud, I apologise, but you can see that if I try and spam through it like this, it doesn't let me because of those cooldowns we put in place. So we can click on zone 1 here. We can see that I've been the one activating it. You can mute the zone, so the zone will flash along with the speaker, but you don't hear any sound. You can fully disable the zone, which means it just does not trigger at all. Or you can disable logging, which basically makes it so when you pass through this barrier, which is very, very loud, it will not log on this screen. And it also means if you click any of these buttons, they won't log as well. So that's just a word of warning. We might edit that in the future, but if you disable logging, it will fully disable this. And you can see that zone 2 has its independent logs as well. and then you can just go back, and then where you can sign in and out wherever you want. But yeah, also you see it says the ID that you've logged in as well in the top left corner. We hope you enjoy this update. We've tried to get this released quite quickly. I had a day off today, so I've mostly been working on this alongside. I don't know if you're wondering this stuff in the background. We are trying to get some more variations in, so we are just messing about in Blender at the moment, if you're wondering what that is. But yeah, happy developing, people.